Fresno Bulldogs gang history. Fresno Bulldogs, or BDS for short, also known by the abbreviations FBD and F14, are a primarily Mexican-American criminal street and prison gang located in 559, California. They are considered to be one of the biggest drug gangs in Central California, with membership estimated to be in the cities of Fresno, Selma, Kerman, Sanger, Clovis, Madera, San Joaquin, Coalinga, Huron, Mendota, Orange Cove, and Avenal. They are engaged in a wide range of criminal activity and have been subject to many high-profile cases over the years. Fresno Bulldogs are largely conflicted with other prison gangs and are the biggest Hispanic gang in California unaffiliated with Sureños or Norteños. Formation and early years, 1980s. The Fresno Bulldogs gang, also known by various abbreviations such as BDS, FBD, and F14, was established in Fresno, California. Initially part of the larger Norteños network linked to the Nuestra Familia, the Bulldogs split to create their own distinct identity and command their own operations. This separation stemmed from internal disagreements and a desire for self-governance, which eventually led to the Bulldogs becoming one of the most influential and notorious gangs in Central California. Name and identity. The gang adopted the name Bulldogs, drawing inspiration from the Fresno State Bulldogs sports teams. This reflected a strong sense of local pride and identity. Members often displayed bulldog imagery in their tattoos and graffiti, including the Fresno State colors of red and blue. The roots of the Fresno Bulldogs can be traced back to the 1970s, but it was not until the 1980s that they emerged as an independent street gang. Their independence was solidified during the prison wars of 1984-1985. During this period, the gang was known as F14. By 1986, the F14ers engaged in a violent conflict with the Norteños, a period known in gang folklore as the Red Wave. Following this conflict, the F14ers began to use the Bulldog name and mascot of Fresno State University in their symbols and imagery. Members would bark to each other as a call sign, Bulldog calling, and addressed each other as Dog, Perro, or FA. 1990s. Rise in influence. Throughout the 1990s, the Fresno Bulldogs grew in numbers and influence. They became one of the most prominent gangs in the Central Valley of California, known for their fierce independence from larger gang networks like the Norteños and Sureños. This period saw increased violence and criminal activity as the Bulldogs sought to expand their territory and influence. Conflict and violence. The Bulldogs engaged in frequent conflicts with other gangs, including the Norteños, Sureños, and various smaller local gangs. These conflicts often resulted in violent confrontations, contributing to high crime rates in the areas where the Bulldogs operated. 2000s. Continued growth and law enforcement crackdown. The early 2000s saw the Fresno Bulldogs continue to expand their operations, both in terms of membership and criminal enterprises. They were involved in drug trafficking, robbery, extortion, and other illegal activities. Law enforcement agencies intensified their efforts to combat the gang's influence, leading to numerous arrests and large-scale operations targeting key members and leaders. Operation Bulldog. In 2006, the Fresno Police Department launched Operation Bulldog, a comprehensive effort to dismantle the gang's leadership and reduce its presence in the community. This operation resulted in hundreds of arrests and was seen as a significant blow to the gang's organizational structure. 2010s. Adapting and surviving. Despite continued law enforcement pressure, the Fresno Bulldogs remained a significant force in the Central Valley. The gang adapted to increased scrutiny by becoming more decentralized, making it harder for authorities to target their operations effectively. They continued to be involved in various criminal activities, including drug trafficking, assaults, and homicides. Community impact. The presence of the Bulldogs had a profound impact on the communities in which they operated. High crime rates, gang-related violence, and drug addiction were prevalent issues. Community leaders and law enforcement agencies work together to implement prevention and intervention programs aimed at reducing gang recruitment and providing alternatives for at-risk youth. Recent developments, 2020, continuing to pose challenges for law enforcement and the communities they impact. Efforts to curb their influence involve a combination of aggressive policing, community outreach, and social programs aimed at addressing the root causes of gang involvement. Modern strategies. Law enforcement has adopted more sophisticated techniques to combat gang activity, including the use of technology and data analysis to track gang movements and operations. Community organizations continue to play a crucial role in providing support and resources to individuals looking to leave gang life behind. Notable incidents. High-profile arrests. Throughout their history, the Fresno Bulldogs have been the subject of numerous high-profile arrests and prosecutions. Law enforcement agencies have successfully targeted key leaders and disrupted major drug trafficking operations. Gang-related violence. The Bulldogs have been involved in many violent incidents, both within their own ranks and in conflicts with rival gangs. This violence has had a lasting impact on the communities of Fresno and the surrounding areas. Notable Fresno Bulldogs members. The Fresno Bulldogs gang has a history of notorious and influential members who have played significant roles in the gang's operations and its interactions with law enforcement. Here are some of the most notable members. Jose Hernandez. Role ** Jose Hernandez, also known as Little Dog, was a prominent leader within the Fresno Bulldogs gang. He played a crucial role in organizing and directing the gang's criminal activities. Criminal activities. Hernandez was heavily involved in drug trafficking, extortion, and violent crimes. His leadership helped to expand the gang's influence in the Central Valley and beyond. Arrest and conviction. Hernandez's criminal activities eventually led to his arrest and conviction. His capture was part of a larger crackdown on gang leaders by law enforcement. Ernesto Contreras. Role. Ernesto Contreras, also known as Canijo, or Rabbit, was a high-ranking member of the Fresno Bulldogs. He was known for his strategic mind and ability to coordinate complex criminal operations. Criminal activities. Contreras was involved in a wide range of illegal activities, including drug trafficking, armed robbery, and gang violence. His ability to evade law enforcement for a long period made him a notorious figure within the gang. Arrest and conviction. Contreras was eventually apprehended and convicted on multiple charges, including drug trafficking and violent crimes. Jesse Aguilar. Role. Jesse Aguilar, also known as Ghost, was a significant figure within the Fresno Bulldogs. Known for his ruthlessness and loyalty to the gang, Aguilar held a powerful position within the gang's hierarchy. Criminal activities. Aguilar was involved in numerous criminal activities, including murder, drug trafficking, and extortion. His reputation for violence and intimidation helped to maintain order within the gang. Arrest and conviction. Aguilar was eventually arrested and convicted of multiple crimes, including first-degree murder. His incarceration was part of a broader effort by law enforcement to weaken the gang's leadership. Carlos C. Dog Rivera. Role. Carlos Rivera, commonly known as C. Dog, was an influential member who played a key role in the gang's expansion and organizational structure. Criminal activities. Rivera was deeply involved in the gang's drug distribution network, coordinating large-scale operations and ensuring the flow of narcotics throughout Central California. Arrest and conviction. Rivera's criminal activities caught the attention of federal authorities, leading to his arrest and subsequent conviction on drug trafficking charges. David Dino Hernandez. Role. David Hernandez, also known as Dino, was a prominent leader who helped shape the gang's operations and strategies. Criminal activities. Hernandez was known for his involvement in violent crimes, including assaults and homicides, as well as drug trafficking and extortion. His leadership contributed to the gang's feared reputation. Arrest and conviction. Hernandez was apprehended during a major crackdown on the gang and was convicted on multiple counts of violent crimes and drug-related charges. Juan Spider, Lopez. Role: Juan Lopez, known as Spider, was a notorious enforcer within the Fresno Bulldogs, responsible for carrying out the gang's orders and maintaining discipline among members. Criminal activities: Lopez was involved in various criminal enterprises, including drug trafficking, armed robbery, and violent assaults. His role as an enforcer made him a key figure in the gang's operations. Arrest and conviction: Lopez was eventually arrested and convicted on multiple charges, including drug trafficking and assault with a deadly weapon. Crackers, a notable Fresno Bulldogs member. Eddie Crackers Vindiola is a notable figure associated with the Fresno Bulldogs, a gang known for its significant influence and presence in Central California. Here's a more detailed look at his background and involvement. Background and rise. Name and alias: the individual known as Crackers is a prominent member of the Fresno Bulldogs. His real name is often not disclosed in public records due to privacy and legal considerations. Role in the gang: Crackers has been recognized for his significant role within the Bulldogs, particularly in terms of leadership and operational influence. His activities and decisions have shaped various aspects of the gang's behavior and strategies. Impact of notable members: the arrest and conviction of these notable Fresno Bulldogs members have had a significant impact on the gang's operations and influence. Law enforcement efforts to dismantle the gang's leadership have been ongoing, aiming to reduce the gang's criminal activities and its impact on the community. Despite these efforts, the Fresno Bulldogs continue to be a formidable presence in the Central Valley, adapting to changing circumstances and maintaining their operations through a decentralized and resilient structure. Symbols and identity. Colors and symbols. The Fresno Bulldogs are known for their use of the color red, mirroring the Fresno State Bulldogs sports teams. They also use bulldog imagery in their tattoos and graffiti, often incorporating the university's mascot into their gang symbols. Tattoos and graffiti. Members commonly have tattoos featuring bulldogs, paw prints, and other related imagery. Graffiti tags often include references to the gang's territory and symbols of their identity. Impact and legacy. The Fresno Bulldogs gang has left a significant mark on the Central Valley of California. Their rise and continued presence have been a major factor in the region's crime dynamics, shaping law enforcement practices and community initiatives aimed at combating gang influence. The ongoing efforts to reduce the gang's impact highlight the complex challenges of addressing deeply rooted social issues and the resilience of both law enforcement and community organizations in the face of these challenges.